This week on First Date,
So fucked up to blast farts at yoga. I've never heard anyone do it.
you've smelt someone do it.
Oh, yeah. And that person is me.
Some people are into working out on their first date. I know, it's weird.
That's a red flag, right?
I mean, I would think so, but...
Come to the gym with me?
I'm so excited to see you tonight.
First date, baby. First date, I can't wait. First date.
And we're back with another episode of First Date. Today, my guest is super exciting, you guys. He was born in Asheville, North Carolina. He was born on 4/20. He's into meditation, spiritualism. He's a comedian. You probably remember him from all the episodes that he had on Joe Rogan Experience, his episodes on Drunk History. He has his own podcast. He's also been on a Netflix special that he created called The Midnight Gospel. He's super funny. Let's welcome Duncan Trussell.
Hi. Hi, thank you.
Thanks for coming on my show.
Thank you for having me.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So these are my first piece of merch.
Incredible.
You guys, I have martini glasses, and it says First Date with Lauren Compton right here. You can get them in the YMH store. I'm so stoked for this.
Me too.
It's actually really good.
It's
I feel
delicious.
like that's some ASMR.
Do you think the martini glass affects the taste, like in some weird placebo way? Like if you're drinking out of like a shitty martini?
Yeah, it tastes like pussy. That's exactly what it tastes like.
Wow, if only.
So before we get started, let me just preface you a little bit.
Okay.
So I have a menu here.
Yes.
This is our first date.
Okay.
I've got some appetizer questions.
Okay.
I've got main course questions.
All right.
And then a dessert question.
Okay.
There's no wrong answers, but I will call out your red flags.
Okay.
And I'll call out your green flags too. It's not a test.
All right.
It's just a fun little first date.
Okay.
So
Doesn't seem stressful at all.
we're going to start off with some appetizer questions. So being into spirituality, how do you feel about astrology?
There's a author, Robert Anton Wilson, a philosopher, and he says the best thing to do when it comes to pretty much anything like astrology, the occult, magic, God, is to maintain a kind of agnosticism regarding it. In other words, let yourself believe it. Give yourself a day where you believe in astrology. So, for example...
Just one day?
Well, it's up to you. You can give yourself a year if you want. But in other words, like some people instantaneously reject shit like astrology, and who can blame them? It sounds absolutely batshit. But instead of just rejecting it, that's no fun. Make yourself believe it for a day, like intensely believe it, that right now Mars is in Virgo, which is causing some reality to happen in your life based on planetary alignments. And then at the very least, you understand the world people who are convinced astrology is real exist in, which is super fun.
If you went on a date and a girl was super opposed to everything astrology, she wasn't very spiritual, she was atheist, how would you feel about going on a date with someone like that?
I would feel horrible for both of us. Like she's gonna hate me, and like I'm gonna be annoying to her, and then I wouldn't enjoy that at all. But I do love like authentic atheists versus like the atheist that feels like they're pushing back against religious, spiritual, the repression they experienced as kids, though I do get that. But like my friends who are like true atheists, it's the best to like go back and forth with them with all my spiritual bullshit. And like, I just really enjoy that interaction. So I guess it depends on the mood behind the atheism. You know?
Right. Where is your idea of a perfect first date?
A perfect first date?
Yeah.
I think that's impossible to answer. Like, and maybe it's just because like I've been married for a while now and I have to think back to first dates. But in general, it's hard for me to summon that up, because what is the first date? Is it like going out to eat? Is that the first date?
I feel like a first date is your first outing, whether that's some people are into working out on their first date. I know, it's weird.
That's a red flag, right?
I mean, I would think so, but...
Come to the gym with me?
What if it was yoga? What if it was a yoga studio?
Oh, nightmare. nightmare.
Why is it a nightmare?
When I do yoga, like they bring out the blocks. Like they have to bring out like a whole.
You're like a master.
Not a master. I suck so bad at it. Like they have to like raise my ass up and get like people worry about me. It's like they bring out this stuff for like geriatrics for me. I'm not very flexible. So assuming like I like this
they're
person.
bringing out blocks for support.
Support, not like, oh my God, the master is here. Just like we don't want him to break his hip.
Right.
So they adjust. Yeah. So no, yoga would be a terrible first date for me.
Yeah.
I would hate it.
I always feel like I would be embarrassed to fart in a room like that around a bunch of people. You could hear a pin drop in a yoga room.
I know. It's so fucked up to blast farts at yoga. I've never heard anyone do it.
They've been silent. You've smelt someone do it.
Oh, yeah. And that person is me because my my body, it's just like when, the first time you do yoga, you're just squeezing out all the poisons.
You are. All the different twists and turns.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a toxic environment.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
How often do you exercise?
I'm going to be real honest with you. I just started going back to the gym recently and I love it. But so to answer that question right now, though, I fell off the wagon again. I was like in the loop. I was doing it. Right now, my wife is very close to giving birth, and I'm not blaming it on her because it's definitely not her fault. You could always go to the gym. But psychologically, I'm using it somehow as some pathetic excuse to not go to the gym. It doesn't make sense.
She's working out enough for the both of you.
I love it. I'll add it. I'll add it to the list of like reasons I'm not working out.
What is the worst first date you've ever been on?
So this is like pre-AOL, I believe. This is when people still use message boards, dial-up modem. I had just gotten this computer literally in my mom's basement. And I'd just been hanging out on this message board, and there was like one female on this message board. A never-ending onslaught of getting hit on by like computer nerds. I was in a rivalry with another computer nerd over this person that I'd never seen or met. This is when it took forever to download pictures. So she wanted to go on a date with me. So I meet her at this apartment complex, and she wanted to go to a movie. So we went to a movie, and on the way back from the movie, someone was tailgating us. And she goes, "Slam on your brakes right now."
I love that.
We could split the insurance money.
What a bad bitch.
Bad bitch. It's an insurance scam. And then, like, we were going fast.
This is the woman you married, right?
I know. This is the one that got away. It's the one that got away.
That's a Bonnie and Clyde story.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you slam those brakes on?
Hell no.
Oh.
No, we went to the grocery store. And she used food stamps to buy artificial crab. So we went. By the way, back then I was kind of like, "This is amazing."
Yeah.
Like we're like sitting on the floor of her apartment, eating artificial crab, in the second floor of her apartment. When an unknown man standing in front of her window starts like, "Hey! Hey!" And she's like, "Just ignore him." That's it. That's all I can remember.
And what, you blacked out from just trauma?
Things like that, like those, like it's like little memory bubbles in my mind, and I'm afraid to like go to the next bubble sometimes.
There's a significant half of my life that I just don't remember because it just traumatized me, and I think that our brain protects us, just blocks us off.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my goodness,
and it's all gone. All that trauma, it's just gone.
Probably a significant amount of drugs and spirituality and going into another dimension would bring it back to me. That's probably why I don't do them. I don't want to remember.
Yeah, you don't. Just sweep it under the rug.
Just
It'll never show up later.
Main course questions. What do you feel is the key to a good relationship?
it's got to be communication.
Yeah.
100%. It's like you have to somehow be able to communicate with each other, and both of you have to be willing to hear the other person's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Because, for me, the moment I'm unwilling to recognize that we all have our own subjective reality tunnels, then I get caught up in trying to be right.
Mm.
And, which is, you probably are right in the sense this is your reality tunnel and everything you're experiencing around you is your mind. So in that sense, you're right. In your ideas of like what this person has done to upset you are right. But also the other person's ideas of what you might have done to upset them are right, in the sense that these are just two merging parts of the multiverse disguised as people.
Yeah.
And so communication is like harmonizing those two, I think.
I feel like in a conversation between two people, one person is always right and the other person is you.
That's a good tattoo, man.
No regrets. What if you're at dinner with someone and they're completely sober and they don't drink alcohol whatsoever?
Yeah.
And you're not sober, but you're not like a raging alcoholic. You just want to have a cocktail.
Yeah.
Do you withhold and just meet them at water? Do you have a drink?
I don't think that's fair for them. I think like people who are not drinking, to add to the pressure of not drinking, that suddenly you have to subscribe to whatever their particular abstinence policy is not fair for them. And also, like if you're starting off your relationship with someone by like instantaneously trying to chameleon yourself into something you think they'll like, you are in for trouble down the road, because they're just gonna be like, oh, cool, they don't drink, this is great. And then, but you do. You love to drink. You love to drink. You love to peep. You love to get hammered and go look through windows and wear adult diapers and go to furry conventions.
Yeah.
But you're like, I'm totally normal. You've got bags of ketamine in your pocket.
Yeah.
So that's not a good first date.
No, it's not.
No.
Do you trust a sober person?
Yeah, I do. I trust, one of my friends told me something that I think about all the time, which is you can trust people to be who they are. You can't necessarily trust them to do what they say. And once that's brought a lot of peace to my life, because when you recognize, this is who a person is, they're sober. And they might be, right now in a period of their life where they're not easy to be around because they're sober or whatever it may be. Yeah, I still trust them in the sense you're doing your thing right now. You're sober. I mean, I don't have a problem with trusting people generally.
That's good. What is a deal breaker for you?
A deal breaker?
A deal breaker, something that is a hard no when dating.
I mean, somebody who says they don't like babies, kids. If somebody like spouts out some of that edgelordy weird shit, it's like, you don't like kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't like the
like
source
they don't like
of,
tiny people.
Like what the fuck? You don't like the source of humanity on the planet? Like you're like a droplet of water in a fountain that is being flung into the void and is aging as you go. But you don't like the younger droplets of water. And also, when you have kids and you see older kids around younger kids, they are mean to the younger kids. Like there's an elitism to a 6-year-old when they see a 4-year-old. They'll be like, go away, baby. And it's so fun. It's so like you're 6.
Yeah.
You're not in the Illuminati. What are you fucking doing? Like it's a playground. But so when adults do it, it's the exact, they just never got past that.
Yeah.
I don't like babies. I don't like kids. Like, why? How could you not like kids?
I feel like people don't like the problems that kids come with sometimes. Like people don't like that kids scream on airplanes. And when people who don't like kids think about kids, they're not thinking about the joys in life that they come with.
Yeah.
I think they're thinking about how much work that's going to be, the amount of money that's going to cost, all of the time that's going to get taken away from them. And I think that you have to become more of a selfless person.
Yeah, it means it could mean a bunch of things, but I do think that wrapped up in that could be a little bit of like self-obsession or a general idea that you are going to be the thing that really changes the world. Like I think a lot of people are like, I'm the thing. Like this is my life. my career, I'm gonna do it. It's so like it's like it's like an ice cube melting, and like I'm gonna be the best ice cube.
I feel that way when I go to the gym. I'm always like in there, and I'm like, today's the day that I'm gonna just absolutely crush it. I do like 10 minutes on the elliptical, and I'm like, I need a taco.
Yes,
I can't.
Yeah.
Do you ever get jealous? Do you get jealous easily?
Yes, I used to, not as much anymore. And that is a red flag. But yeah, I used to get jealous, and it's all fucked up. It's all fucked up.
What makes you jealous? When someone flirts with your wife?
Okay, let me be a little honest with you. So, like, yesterday, flowers. My wife is very close to giving birth. Yesterday, flowers have been delivered. Now, my wife's upstairs. I'm looking at the flowers. There's no message. It's just flowers. I just want to illustrate how this is why I try to have some kind of spiritual practice, which is there's nothing special about that at all. It's not romantic. It's like really just like to mitigate my neurosis. But so my mind immediately is like, I wonder where those flowers came from. Like, who the fuck is sending flowers to my wife when she's about to, like, what guy do I think is like, hey, I'm just going to send you some flowers and just not put my name on it and just fuck with your whole family. But that's the first presentation. That's what my mind will do first. And then I have to recognize okay, that's just a thought. I know that's not real. It's just like a bubble of sewage rising up from my subconscious. But yeah, it's from my mother-in-law. But so that's an example of now when those thoughts emerge, I'm much better at not believing them. But in earlier phases of my life, I was being dragged around by my mind. So I couldn't surrender to the basic reality, which is if the person you're with wants to be with someone else, you have to let them. What are you going to do? Hold them hostage? Is this a hostage situation? I thought this was romance. What's going on here? They want to be with someone else. They don't want to be with you as much as they want to be with someone else. Deal with it. You just have to surrender. That's good for both of you. I could never pull that off. I was always the not being able to deal with it didn't work out. They're into someone else.
Do you consider yourself very romantic?
I don't know. I think I don't know. That word is really I do think it was when my wife and I met, it was very romantic. And I think in the beginning of most of my relationships, there's some true romance that happens. And but sadly I've noticed that in not that romance goes away, but I've noticed that over time, it kind of transforms into something that isn't quite as sparkly as it is in the beginning. And that sparkly quality is so beautiful and addictive. And it's why Romeo and Juliet, imagine if they didn't kill themselves. Do Romeo and Juliet long-term relationship 15 years later. It's not going to be as interesting a play.
Yeah, they had to die.
For it, yeah, or the credits roll in the romance movies. And everyone's dancing at the wedding or whatever.
Yeah.
Cut to 4 years later. 4 years later when the housing market's fucking up and the mortgage, you know what I mean? Cut to 4 years later. I don't know what this lump is.
The real estate agent comes in, totally destroys their relationship.
Yeah.
She's the mistress.
Yeah. I mean, all of this stuff.
Sounds like Austin.
Oh my God. This is, the reality of human life is that we are lured into very difficult situations by the sparkliness, and we get in the difficult situations, which I think it's a teaching, it's a lesson. Mm-hmm. It's the guru. It's whatever you want to call it. It's your chance to get an advanced class in human existence. And then you realize I don't want to take that fucking class. I just want sparkly and easy and soft. And it just, at least in my experience, it's not like that.
What is your relationship like with your parents?
Well, they're dead. So it's not.
That is not funny.
Yeah, but I was trying to make it funny, and maybe it failed. All right. You know, they don't all hit the bullseye.
Gosh, I'm sorry. What? Well, let's move on. From that
Why? You mean move on like they did?
No, they moved down. We're
How
moving
dare you,
forward.
down?
I mean, unless you had him cremated.
What? Oh, I thought you were talking about hell.
Conversation is.
You saying my parents are in hell?
I don't know.
What
You seem,
fucking show is this, man? Your parents are in hell.
hope you had a good relationship with them here on Earth.
Oh, I don't know if I did. But, you know, maybe I'll try to break into hell and free them.
Oh my goodness. Well, did you have a good relationship with your parents before they died?
God, yes and no. I mean, it's like shit. If I'll tell you red flag. If you ask someone, did you have a good relationship with your parents? And they're like, yes. It's like, oh yeah, you really did. Like the whole time it was all great. Teenage years, all of that was good. It was good in the sense that there was love there through the entire relationship, even though if the love was covered up with confusion or as a parent, my parents didn't have any like artists, performers in their family. So to have your child run off to LA and then be like, I'm going to be a comedian. You're just like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Seriously? Like, that's not going to happen. That's not going to work. Statistically, that's not going to work. The probability of it working is so low because we're your parents. We know you're not funny. Like, how do you think you're going to be able to be a comedian?
My parents were the same way.
Right. So that's going to create real problems in a relationship because, I think the real, and I will be thinking about what I'm about to say probably in the future. The real challenge of parenting is you have to let your kid fail. You have to let your kid pursue the thing and open the space for them to do it. And on every level, not just okay, great.
Right.
You're going to be a comedian. Wonderful. Go ahead. But inside you're like, oh fuck, man, this is going to be really bad for everybody. You have to figure out the entire spectrum of allowing them to be who they are. Kids are dangerous. They'll jump off of anything. They'll run right at a pit bull. They don't know that's the last thing they'll see. So you, as a parent, you have to be the role of parent, but also you have to connect with your kids at a deeper level than you're my kid and I'm your dad, and allow those two things to happen simultaneously. So, yeah, I think that's the trick. I don't even remember what question I was answering. These martinis are strong.
They're so strong.
What if I wake up and I'm just talking to a garbage can? I thought I was on a podcast.
Look, I'm trying to tell myself that I'm not trash every day.
You
so
are
you're not going to
tra-
wake up to
yeah.
talking to a garbage
I
can.
didn't mean it like that. I meant my worst fear is all of this is some hallucination, and I come to, and I'm just covered in filth. And then I talk to Rob. No, they're a lizard. There's my lizard friend.
Oh man. I'm gonna go to my dessert question.
Okay.
What is the sweetest thing you've ever done for someone that you've been with?
Okay. This is so. I was talking to my wife about this because I was thinking it was when I proposed to her, but she's like, no, that wasn't it at all. And she told me that, and again, I think if you want to see a real red flag, it would be me being I'll tell you the sweetest thing ever. I know that. I don't know. I hope I've done sweet things. I'm very neurotic. So when they send me that question, I'm just fuck, I'm an asshole. I don't know. What have I done for anyone? I mean, Jesus, am I a black hole? Am I just some swirling black hole of narcissism? And I've never done anything really sweet, or can you be sweet to anyone? But my wife was telling me that after our kid was in the NICU and we, had to come home, and, she was saying it was I gave her a bath and was washing her hair and helping her take her bandages off in the bathtub. And she said that was the sweetest thing. But I don't know. I mean, I guess it's the little things, you know. I don't know.
But I think that shows a level of care and help. And I mean, you're going into bringing another life into the world and being with your wife and helping her. You're talking about bathing your wife, right?
What do you think I was talking
or the
about?
child.
The child was in the NICU.
Yeah.
I was bathing my wife. It's
That's
weird
what
when
I
you say
thought.
it like that.
That's what I thought.
You know, yeah, I was giving my wife a bath.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She probably needed your help.
she did. Yeah, she did. And I get that was sweet. You know, it's easy to think you got to do some spectacular thing. I always
You
forget
don't.
that. Yeah, it's the little things.
What's the sweetest thing anyone's ever done for you?
I mean, that's a question that
I gave you a free drink.
motherfucker, you did. I love it. Not you, motherfucker, but motherfucker, a drink. Like I'm a biker. The sweetest thing. The sweetest thing anyone has ever done for me. I'm going to tell you. And it's really, I will try not to cry. You want to know the sweetest thing anyone's ever done for me?
Yes, I do.
So, you asked.
I did.
Okay. So, wait, do you mean significant other or in general in life?
I want whatever story you were about to cry about.
Okay. I'm not going to cry. No, I've had that part of my brain cut out recently. It feels so much better.
Dang it.
I mean, feelings are really a kind of like the appendix of humanity. You know, once we get rid of feelings, I think we can.
Yeah, that's a red flag.
Yeah, feelings are the first
Put
red
that
flag.
in all caps, team.
Feelings are a red flag. So my mom was very close to dying of breast cancer, and you know, when I was like, you know, one of the things you do as a parent, you wash your kids' clothes, you know, and so I had to leave. I had to go, and so she was so sick, you know, cancer. So I can remember anyway, I went in the laundry room and she'd wash my clothes. She was on oxygen, but she'd gotten out of bed and washed my clothes. It's
Wow.
yeah.
When she was not able to.
No, it was the most beautiful on every level. It was very beautiful because it was just demonstrating what a true, I know it's so, speaking of simple things, I mean, obviously it'd be no big deal in any other situation, but something about her, that way of saying goodbye. I know it sounds ridiculous. I didn't even want to wash my clothes, and no big deal. Obviously, I didn't ask her, "Hey, Mom, there's an oxygen tank in the laundry room. Can you wash my clothes?"
Yeah.
It was this sweet, all mothers are the same mother in the end, and so it was that. It was the demonstration of yeah, I'll do anything I can for you, even when I'm about to die.
Wow. Well, that's really beautiful.
Thanks. Sorry. I shouldn't have done that one. Should we do a different one? I didn't
Why
close on a cancer mom washing clothes on your funny podcast.
Not everything has to be funny. I mean, I think that honesty sometimes is more important than being funny. And the fact that your mom did something like that for you, which is the sweetest thing for you that someone has done, makes sense why you would bathe your wife, because it's an act of service.
Yeah.
Which is another love language that I always love to talk about on
service?
the podcast. Well, just love languages in general.
Yeah.
And so I think that's acts of service seems to be very important to you, and a love language. Would you say that acts of service, doing things for other people and people showing you love through?
I am desperately encumbered by my own selfishness. And so the only way I have found, all the psychedelics, great, whatever, you still recrystallize as yourself. It's like a spider makes a web. You might be able to destroy your neurotic, convoluted, freaked out, traumatized, self-absorbed web with this thing or that, but it'll always grow back. And that's your karma. So I've noticed that when I'm able to clamber out of my own neutron star level of selfishness and help other people that I experience like an immediate remission of that situation, which is a very pathetic and painful place to be.
Well, my
Selfish.
little black widow, I am here to tell you that you have a very big heart.
Thank you.
Yes. But on that note, let me recap your red flags. So you show
Oh
up
my
late.
God, it's going to be an hour podcast.
You seem to be a little lazy showing up late to dates, but that's okay.
You mean to this one?
You're late to this podcast.
Yeah, I was late to this. That is a red flag.
I guess that is my red
Yeah.
flag. You jealous?
What?
You're jealous? You can be jealous sometimes.
I used to be, but if you want to like do like past jealousy issues, mild jealousy issues, now I'll accept the red flag.
But now you're better.
I think I'm better now. Yeah.
So balance is great. Communication, those are 2 green flags. And then you did say that you don't need feelings.
What?
You said that you don't need feelings.
As a joke.
I don't care. I'm just
That's
kidding.
a red flag. I give you a red flag.
I take shit too personal.
Red
That's my
flag
red
on
flag.
you.
My red flag for sure.
Yeah, no, feelings are really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kidding. No, I mean, no, I think feelings are wonderful.
Yeah. Until you catch them with the wrong person.
Yes, right.
Would you come on a second date with me?
Anytime. Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Hare Krishna. Cheers. Is me saying Hare Krishna a red flag?
No, because that's you being your authentic self. Where can people find you?
You can find me at duncantrussell.com, or you can watch my show on Netflix, The Midnight Gospel. And in September, this show I'm on, which is really funny, that Dan Harmon made called Crapopolis, is going to be on Fox. So
In September.
September, yeah.
Cool. That's my birthday month.
Yay!
I can't
when?
wait.
Wait, what day? What?
The 15th.
My wife's September 11th.
Oh, really?
Isn't that wild?
Virgo energy.
Virgo energy.
Love
Yeah.
that. Well, thank you so much for coming on my show.
Thank you for
I can't wait to
having
have
me.
you back.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That means the world to me. Thank you. What a wonderful show. You're such a
Yeah.
great host.
Thank you. And thank you guys for watching another episode. We'll see you next week.
First date, baby.
Are you really drinking a glass of milk with dinner?
First date, I can't wait.
You told your mom about me?
Just say you're ready.
Delete my number.